right, SLC USA. Today would be the first day for about 6 months that I've been able to say that I'm not working at my day job. So I'm excited for that. I wanted to show you some basic things you can do to just kind of get started when you've just made that decision that you want to go ahead and get in better shape. So that's typically going to probably come like it did for me with a midlife type of crisis, right? So if you're there, then you've found the right video, and I'm going to be able to show you how you can get started mentally and physically, and we're going to do that right now. So the first thing is acknowledging that you even need to get in shape. I remember whenever, I guess like 4 years ago, I decided I wanted to get in the best shape of my life. So I was getting ready to turn 40. So 43. I'm 43 now. I wanted to be in the best shape of my life when I was 40. So maybe that's you. So I call that my midlife crisis because I was realizing not only was I not in the shape that I once was, that I wasn't able to do the things that I love to do, surfing. I wasn't able to do it at near the same level I was whenever I was a kid. I didn't want to ever get sick. My mom was a brittle diabetic, so I didn't want to have that happen to me. But I was certainly overweight. But I didn't think that I was really all that overweight. I just didn't give any credibility to the BMI charts. I thought that they weren't taking into consideration muscle. It was kind of a silly way of thinking, but probably, I wanted to make myself feel better, right? So whenever I made that decision, I first started with obviously a diet and then an exercise routine ideology. And it was the first time I think that actually what I had decided to do actually made sense and worked, because I ended up losing 45 pounds and certainly was in the best shape of my life when I was 40, and I'm in even better shape now, and I feel like there's always another level. So I want you, starting at the very beginning of this process, to obviously realize that you're making a good decision, but you have to have a routine that is enjoyable, that you're going to look forward to. Otherwise you won't stick to it. It's just impossible. I mean, you're just going to get bored. So it's best, in my opinion, to find that activity that brought you the most joy when you're a kid, because typically when you're a kid you are exploring all kinds of things. But if you're like me, you abandon that thinking that it's not part of being a grown-up. But the reality is I think kids got it right. I think the best thing we can do is find an activity that obviously is athletic, that's going to allow you to be able to burn calories, and then strive to be as best as you can at that. So for me, it was surfing. For you, it could be a range of things, but I want to show you all the sports. That's why I've created the course that has workouts that are designed around the fundamentals that you need for every sport out there. I'm covering everything from baseball to soccer, hockey, all the sports you've heard of, sports that you haven't heard of. Underwater, we're going to explore, and I'm going to do an entire training on underwater torpedo. So underwater torpedo is super cool. Can't wait to tell you about it, but I'm not going to tell you about it now, even though I want to. And we're also going to do watermelon ball. I'm going to cover water polo. I'm going to cover another sport you probably haven't heard of, which would be underwater hockey, which is an Australian sport, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Aussies would do that kind of thing. So we're gonna explore all those sports, but the goal is for you to be able to find what it is that you love, that you have passion for, and use that to build workouts around and to keep yourself motivated that way. So you make that decision, find what it is that you want to be the best at, and then work towards it. So the base of all the sports and all the different like workouts that are specific to that sport, please make sure you go through that and do these workouts to find what it is that you love the most. Now, The other thing that I want to make sure we discuss is nutrition. Obviously, that's a big part of it. I probably, if you ask my wife, wouldn't be considered to have the best diet on the planet these days, but I don't eat any meat. So that was the biggest decision that I made that probably led to losing a lot of weight, because I just kind of accidentally became a vegetarian while I still eat fish, but just very occasionally. So how that all came to be is a story for another day, but it is what I did that made the probably the biggest impact, and probably the simplest thing you could do is cut something like that. All right, so we're gonna get to it here. So let this be the first day of your new way of thinking, that you are going to do everything you can, you're going to learn as much as you can, and you're going to strive to be the best at a particular activity, or you're going to explore the different sports with me and see what you have the most fun doing. And I think that that will be a great first start. But I also want to say that, I didn't believe the BMI charts, but I ended up losing 45 pounds, and I was within that BMI range that I thought was, baseless. Certainly, it's not. It's based on science, but we try to fit everything into what makes us feel best about ourselves. So, don't do that. Use that BMI index as a motivating tool to see where you're at, and know that there is a way. There's a way. All right. So, before we do anything, we need to stretch, and we're going to do a little bit of some new stretches that I haven't really done, and stretches that I have done, but I'm going to do everything with the ball. The ball is great because it's going to give you an unstable surface that you're starting on. So it allows for your core to be working all the time, which is what you want. Whenever you're doing any type of stretch, you want to be trying to engage as many muscles as possible, especially your core. So that's why I am sitting on the ball. So now I want to do some stretching, but I'm not going to be doing stand-up stretching. I'm going to do stretching here. So that way just makes it easy, and I'm already on the ball. All right, so first one. Now that is a great stretch. Falling is not what you're looking for, but the idea of this stretch is to relax your core muscles and stretch your entire body. So as you're doing this, if you feel like you're getting locked up or you just end up falling, then you probably need to focus on simpler core stretches, maybe turning your shoulders and hold it for 30 seconds. 30 seconds is going to be kind of the magic number to get your muscles to release. There, just reach back. And try not to fall. Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. All right, if you can do that and not fall, then you'll love it. Now, to make this stretch even more interesting, you can grab a medicine ball, which I think is probably the most useful tool that you should have in your fitness arsenal. You can use it for releasing your core muscles, keeping your head straight, rotating your shoulders. Do your lifting. The same stretch. It's just certainly a little bit harder with the ball in your hand. I'm trying to keep myself. Let's try not to fall. So when you're doing your stretching and your calisthenic exercises, you will get to the point where you feel like you can't talk. That's a good thing. That means your body is switching gears, okay? So that's probably gonna happen here shortly. Woohoo! See, now this mistake going back made my body adjust, which is what we're trying to do. We're just trying to learn how to control your muscles, especially be able to relax them. Just the more you can relax your muscles, the stronger you can make your movements. All right, so lose the ball. Enough of the falling.